Hello, folks. John Adamson, the Rehab and Documentation Guru, and making a driving video. Yes, you probably go nuts seeing this happen, but anyway, wanted to respond partly via video to a viewer who, when we lost the ability to put therapeutic activities with eval codes, this viewer noted that they were starting to use the self-cares code instead. So let me talk about that for a moment. Self-cares 97535. This is a code that is designed to address compensatory strategies that we train a patient in order to be able to do their self-cares. That's the basic gist of the definition, compensatory strategies. So the question is, what are you compensating for? And if you've been to my course, I've talked extensively about functional deficits and underlying impairments, which is a categorization that I believe the AOTA, if my friend Amanda Scott, I don't know if she'll watch this video, can confirm, but the AOTA originally came up with this designation. And functional deficits are the functional categories that we work on, obviously, like ADLs and mobility, but underlying impairments are the things that cause problems in those areas. So, for example, strength, balance, coordination, proprioception, kinesthesia, posture, pain, you name it. There's a lot of underlying impairments that we measured back in the day called school that we're supposed to be doing on our patients now. That's what you compensate for, because those underlying impairments, which I just named off just some of them, are the things that cause functional deficits. These are the things that if you can make them better, the function gets better by itself. But what self-cares does, 97535, is it's aimed at training patients to overcome their underlying impairments through compensatory strategies, meaning that they're not improving in those underlying impairments inherently to get their ADLs better. So they've got to learn techniques, compensations to overcome them. So when you are documenting what you're doing behind the skill involved in self-care, you've got to make sure you include the target of your intervention. And I've talked about a blueprint for skilled care. The target is going to be, in this case, the underlying impairment that you're seeking to teach the patient some technique to overcome, so they can do a workaround that to get the function better. And so sometimes I saw people, I shouldn't say sometimes, a lot of times I saw people, when I was doing nothing but auditing, misrepresenting what 97535, that code meant and what you're supposed to be doing with it. So make sure, number one, and I know that viewer wasn't meaning this. If you're an OT, very loud car. If you're an OT, don't just dump all your non-eval minutes into self-cares on that day of eval, unless you truly did self-care training. And then next, make sure it's very clear that you are using it according to its definition, which is to be able to compensate for the underlying impairments that your evaluation has objectively determined are impeding function. When you do those two things, you'll get much better likelihood that your treatment, not only of 97535 on non-eval days, but of course on eval day, will get paid. Anyway, John Adamson, the Rehab and Documentation Guru, heading home, but more paperwork to do. Take care and God bless.